Well, good morning folks. We are in a good position to view the Mayanbula 7. They are sleeping at the moment, so unfortunately no action happening, but as we moved into the sighting, they did report the two Skorro males almost where you're looking at the lionesses now, directly opposite them to the east where the sun is coming from. There's two pride males that's been found there, so I'm sure if we're done here, we're definitely gonna go swing by that side to try and complete the story, or the sighting at least. So we're far east, and it's good to have the Mayanbulas back, because the river pride was quite prevalent in our areas for the last week or two. But the river pride has moved much further north, and obviously if these guys move in, the river pride feels pressured with their cubs, and they will move north. The limping Naru male is as far as Argyle Dam in the far northern properties, and it's quite remarkable because 2 or 3 days ago he was not too far from where these ladies are now. So when those Skorro males come into the area, unfortunately the smaller prides will give way. A shimmering glance of the sun falling on this lioness's back. You can actually see the vertebrae bones sticking out a little bit. Don't worry, they're still in very good shape. A slight breeze blowing here. So the guys that were tracking these lionesses didn't take too long to find them. They literally reported tracks, and then 10 minutes after that they came straight to this big water source called Mashaton Dam, and the lionesses were found sleeping just to the south of the dam. I'll quickly zoom out so you can see, so you can get your bearings of more or less where we are from this dam. There it is in the background. There's Mr. Reniko up front. How's it, Renixie? How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, I'm feeling
good, man. We're feeling good because we found some lions for our guest, eh? Yeah, good stuff. So we've managed to get into a great position to have a look at the Skorro males. They were flat cat, but luckily this guy decided he's going to groom himself a little bit, so giving us all a little bit of a view of his face and his posture when he's up, or at least when his head is up.
Not 100% sure where I was. Okay, copy that. Yeah, I'll make my way in that direction. If whoever was on standby comes back on, I'll just make space. Go on.
So these guys had a long night. They patrolled very far. Their tracks were seen and found far up north. They were heard vocalizing quite vigorously throughout the night. Hence the fact that I think that's what caused the limping Naru male to end up much further north than we expected, because these guys are the current rivals. And unfortunately, and I have mentioned this before, but these two brothers, for you guys at the back as well, the last male that I mentioned that they pushed far up north, these two brothers came in a few months ago, and they did kill 2 of that male's brothers. So they were a trilogy. They were 3 males, the Naru males, and they've been depleted to only 1 male because of the incursion of these beautiful big male lions called the Skorro males. And as I say that, he licks his lips as well. But it is warming up. It's after 7 o'clock on a summer's morning in the Timbavati Game Reserve. And these brothers are looking to find a good spot to sleep for the day. On the right hand side there you can see there's the other Skorro male. And from the lionesses we just came from, it's roughly about, I'll say 500 to 600 meters to the direct east of them. So they're not far away. So for in case those lionesses maybe make a kill around that water source today, these male lions will be close by to go join and possibly also take over that carcass if it had to happen.
He's showing off for us.
Yeah, he's scenting the air. I think he's smelling Renico's perfume up front. I did this morning. Straight, no?
Yeah. It's magnificent looking.
How come they're separated from the females this morning?
Yeah, these guys, why they separated from the females this morning, that's a good question from Mary back here. These guys were on a territorial patrol during the night. You never knew if they heard some rival males calling somewhere sort of in the reaches of their territory, and instinctively they go follow up to try and chase out any rival males out of the territory. I think that's why they separated from the females. So the females will stay together and do the majority of the hunts as well when they're in a pride structure. So let's say for instance the females managed to kill a kudu this morning. If it had to happen, these guys, if they did manage to come back towards the core area where they last left the females, they'll probably join them on that carcass or push them off. So that's also why they're closer to the females. They probably picked up that the females are not too far away. So when last have you seen a grazing lion? I thought it's only wildebeest and zebra and buffalo that grazes, but hey, you know, things change out here. But on a serious note, lions will sometimes eat the grass. Apparently it does help with digestion. So maybe they find some medicinal use in the grass itself. Maybe some of the fiber content helps the digestive process. Who knows? I've seen this behavior before. It's not uncommon. Heading over to his brother.
One looks a lot bigger than the other one.
If they had to stand up and walk side by side, you see they do look quite similar, mane-wise as well, body size. I think it's the fact that the one is still lying down on his flank. But they are pretty much the same size, and I think they are directly related, possibly from the same litter of one lioness. But it is not impossible that it could be two different litters that were raised together by the same group of lionesses, and that still formed a coalition. So they are sort of half brothers, you know, side by the same father but by different mothers. Or it could be the same father and one mother as well. Who knows? But they do originate from the northern parts of the Mayanbula Kruger National Park area, from the old Skorro Pride, and that's where they are from. And how far is that from us now? That is quite far. I'll say that's probably a good 40 kilometers as the crow flies, maybe to the east of us, towards where that lion is walking. That could be where his natal pride or his previous pride is still roaming the area freely. Alright, and the second Skorro male is on the move as well. He is following his brother. I think let's get a last visual drive around, have a last.
God, man. Looks like a postcard.
Yes.
Picture perfect, eh? That's the money shot, guys.
It is.
Get your images.
Looks like a postcard.
It certainly does.
Battle scars on his nose.
Yeah, the scars of life, eh? This guy has been through a couple of battles to get where he is now.
Wow. Is that not something? You know, I can see why you have to work together. It's hard to find these guys.
Yeah, that's it. So it helps to have other game viewers driving around. And I mean the radio work we have to do to try and share the sightings as well. That really helps. Welcome back, folks. This is a follow-up sighting of Nsongwana, and we just caught up with him as he approached water. And it would be glorious if he settles for a drink. Let's let him settle first, then we'll reposition. It's remarkable. So the big boy is quenching his thirst after finishing up an adult female impala. Quite typical, the first thing that I want to do after spending lots of time at the kill. Just look at the size of his body. He's an incredibly large male leopard. And like I've mentioned before, these guys can top the scales at roughly 90 kilograms up to 180 pounds. It's double the size of a female leopard. And we're off. Look how opportunistic his demeanor is. See, the moment he stops drinking, he pauses briefly and he watches his surroundings. So for instance, if he suddenly saw now a limping antelope or something, he won't say, oh, my belly is full, I'm not going to do anything. He'll definitely use that opportunity to hunt again. Okay, let's reposition. It's going to be time to say goodbye to Nsongwana. We had quite a special sighting of him. Marking territory. After all, he is a dominant male of this area, sort of a couple of kilometers to the south of Rockfig property. And these guys probably have up to about 6 females in his own territory. He's got quite an expansive area to mark off, like he's doing there. Yeah, whisker glands in the face, rubbing the whisker glands on that branch and then spraying some urine. And he's off. What an immaculate sighting. I'll catch you next time.